Hello. So I have some really exciting news. I'm on day 11 of my medical medium cleanse, and I checked the gum lines of my teeth, and there was decay there, like a black, and it's much, much less, to the point that I think I can heal that decay. Amazing. I would never tell you such a thing is true if it weren't. Actually, I heard a woman also talk about that, and I just thought interesting. I didn't have any hopes for it. In fact, sometimes I don't check it because I get upset by the whole thing. I did have tooth enamel erosion from apple cider vinegar. Don't ever drink it. I drank it. I used the grape drinks that had apple cider vinegar for a year, and that's when my enamel eroded. It's something that is quite triggering for me. So is dentists, because I had a really unscrupulous one. But we sometimes just not thinking about the things that upset us or not focusing on them and going forward helps. So I'll give that to you. I had no idea why I was having teeth enamel erosion. The dentist didn't tell me. You know, the medical field is really disappointing, honestly. Like, they should know these things. And so what I'm doing now is my metal detox smoothie with the wild blueberries, and I'm cutting up a lot of limes because I really like it tangy. And just that I had bladder issues and now I can eat limes, that is a miracle. Like, I don't even have to worry about how many limes. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 limes on this cutting board to add to my wild blueberry metal detox smoothie. Even half a lime would have triggered my IC. Now today I had pains in the lower area, which I would think is my bladder, and I don't know if it was a muscle that got strained or if it's actual detox symptoms. I'm not sure. It was pretty bad. I slept in that morning, this morning when it happened, and then when I woke up, I didn't feel it. Then when I got up, I did, and now it's subsided. So I don't know what it is. It could have been a pulled muscle because I was kind of like moving around, and some could have been that, but I'm not sure. Having great digestion, great bowel movements. I had at least 4 or 5 yesterday without any herbs or laxative to aid, because the celery juice has hydrochloric acid, which helps with digestion. In fact, I'm convincing a friend that I know to do this. Then today I went to a course, and because I'm glowing and shiny and healthy, an older woman, said, you look so well. And we got into the discussion, and she had me write down what I do and that it was from the medical medium, and asked me for my phone number. So hopefully she goes on that path. She tells other people about it. It was a class about spirituality with the rabbi's wife today, and I just really had an urge to announce to the class about how to attain this health. And 2 other women were talking about someone they were concerned about who had a UTI and Alzheimer's. So I mentioned the celery juice, and the woman was really receptive. When I have a passion of mine, I don't care if I'm rejected or people get angry. When it comes to health, I risk it. Some people are in their shell. They don't want to. They say it's inconvenient, it's not the right time, and they get annoyed with me. I don't care. I'm going to sing this out to the world. You can take the information or not. It needs to be known. And something that's really interesting is there was a histamine group in Facebook, and I mentioned that they were kind of like whining, and I had mentioned something, and a lot of them shut it down, including the admin. Then today I see a post, and she said, I don't want to hear about snake skin salesmen, and especially the medical medium. And I unfollowed the group. I don't have histamine intolerance, but I thought I did, and maybe I did, because my liver was just so combusted with all this junk and acting up. So I could have had what seemed to be, or what people would call it, and I didn't even know how to react to that, and I just unfollowed the group. I'm like, well, let her whine. Let all these people whine and just be miserable if they want, then, so they can like figure out how to get away with eating foods that trigger them, because I don't. You know, I want to know the truth, and if I do eat something that triggers me, I want to know how to heal it, and I also want to take self-responsibility. I think a lot of people don't know, and they just become hopeless, and then the medical community is like, oh, we're searching for an answer, and then take this medication and that medication, and it really gets you into victim mode. I want to be healthy. I'm not sick for attention. And also people have said to me, like, well-meaning people, like, it's in my head, or maybe it's emotional. No, it's not. It's an actual physical thing when your bladder withholds releasing urine, and when you can't digest your food. It's a physical thing, and it makes you feel really irritable when you're not going to the bathroom, and was never in our head. He talks about that also, not blaming someone for being sick, not telling them, oh, maybe it's your emotions and your stress and this, and no. Physical reason, physical answer. So here I have my limes and a lemon ready to squeeze to add to my beautiful wild blueberry juice. And just like I said, day one I had, you know, that I see the same strong symptoms because I hadn't treated it with the celery juice. Day 11, look how many limes I'm juicing. A miracle. I want to scream from the rooftops and let everybody know that health is possible. You know, and I was thinking, oh, my digestion is just going to be weak because it's been weak for so many years and I've tried so many things. How could celery juice help? And I let go of my senna and my cascara sagra. I no longer take zeolite. That was helping too. And I was like, let's see what happens. Well, yesterday I went 4 or 5 times. Today I've already went twice. Hallelujah. Ingest good food and digest it out. That's health. And one of my friends is asking, like, did I lose weight? Because she's really into, you know, her weight and everything. And it's just like, it's not my top priority. My top priority is to gain health, is to glow, is to be happy. I'm so much happier. I don't have anxiety. I don't have worry. You know, and when you're married and you have anxiety and worry and angst, it carries over, you know, to my partner. Sure, I have concerns. Like right now, a big concern is I want the pesticides out of our subdivision. The worm, the landscaper, told me he's doing it at a rate of one application of pesticides per week. And yes, I'm very anxious about that to stop. We've opted out of our property to have it applied, but I'm not stupid. If you put it on the neighbors or you put it around us on the community land, it goes everywhere. But I love the medical medium. I think he's an angel. I think he's sent from heaven. He's so amazing. Doesn't have any ego, is in selling products. I haven't bought one book from him. I haven't bought anything. He has a plethora of videos for me to watch. Like, I have barely scratched the surface of all of them I could do. He has recipes on his website, more videos. I watched one on UTIs. It's all about the Streptococcus bacteria. And there's so many versions of the Streptococcus bacteria, so many different varieties of them. And I for sure got it from my last relationship. For sure. That was the trigger. I think I had it, but not that form, because since I was little, I always like frequent urination, like all the time, you know, but never to the point where it was like tight and uncomfortable, which it got after that relationship. But you know, I am healing. I can't believe it. Cannot believe it. I don't even know why did I start this? I started because, you know, what did I have to lose? what did I have to lose? I definitely wanted an improvement in my digestion. Definitely. Didn't want to be dependent on laxative herbs. No fatigue. In fact, someone was talking about like memory and how it was really foggy, and I wanted so bad to tell her, but it wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right time. But like such a good introduction is when someone is like, you glow, and then you can open up like, I glow because, you know, I'm having celery juice, I'm feeling so good. But like I share at the risk of someone being offended, really. And I also like am on board to get those pesticides out of my neighborhood at the risk of offending, at the risk of being too much for the HOA. Because when you really have a passion and when something is really like of paramount importance, the opinions of others don't matter. And in fact, when you want to accomplish your mission, you have to let go of the opinions of others. I always cared so much about others, what they thought of me, did they like me? You know what? I'm letting that go because I have a bigger mission and it doesn't matter. And the medical medium talks about that. Like, I love him so much for his health knowledge and also his, like, his humbleness and his sensitivity and how he says that like all day long people bash him. It's just like that histamine group. She calls him a snake doctor or whatever that expression is. Please, you know, why does she have to like ban any information? Like that is actually very interesting, right? I was gonna put the lemon squeezer material in the sink, but I might need it. That's very interesting. It's like it's coming from a place of threat or fear. So like, oh, medical medium, he's powerful. If someone feels like they have to like ban any information, but yet, you know, your followers of the group can whine and talk about how they want to eat chocolate and how they can't eat this and how they can't drink alcohol or how they tried to drink alcohol and now they don't feel good. They can whine, but when I actually give something that could help, it's banned. Whatever. I don't care. I'm going to keep going. With things that are this important and this vital, everybody deserves health. Everybody deserves to be free of like anxiety that comes from all the toxins. Toxic buildup, malfunctioning liver, creates anxiety and depression. We are not naturally depressed. You know, I wake up happy. I feel happy. I love it. And I love it for, you know, my relationship with my partner that I can be happy. Today, we last night we got a whole bunch of organic celery delivered, extra big bunches. It filled up this whole thing for my husband to have first thing in the morning. I made it for him last night. Plus an extra cup. It overflowed, and we got 12 bunches of celery, organic, delivered from a friend who does that, and it ended up being $40 because I gave them a tip, and so exciting because now that my husband's on board, and we're both doing it every morning, but I make his in the evening because it's not practical that I'm going to be up at 6:30 to make his celery juice or 6. That's not happening. Beautiful mango, a nice orange color. I really taste the beauty now of the foods. Now that I've like simplified what I eat, no oil, no salt, no fat. Well, I'm very happy knowing that my husband starts his day with a big, nice, healthy, cleansing celery juice. It makes me very happy. It makes me feel like he's getting taken care of. His health. And he's working on less coffee. He's going down to half. I told him not to do it cold turkey because I feel awful. And because he's working, he needs that, or he feels he needs it. And maybe in the weekend he could go even less. But I never demanded that he do it, but he said he always liked celery. And he was really happy when I started making it for him. So he's had it for 2 mornings in a row now. And what I want to do also when I make my Metal Detox blueberry smoothie, I want to make extra so he can have some. And I also want to make extra so he can take a bottle to work in the mornings. So he can have it at some time during the day because it has the barley grass juice powder. I'm so happy today. The barley juice grass powder, and it helps with appetite. So that he has the celery juice, then he has that like at least half an hour or more after. And so his appetite is curbed, and then he eats his lunch. So it'll help him make better health choices for his lunch, and I also make his lunch. And here is all the beautiful celery we got. So exciting. So exciting. A plethora. Maybe I'll have my friends come and deliver it more because we actually got more bigger heads from them than the grocery store and seem to be fresher. So here I'm pouring the orange, lime, and 1 lemon juice. So I have that with mangoes in the bottom. You can add pretty much like whatever fruit you want. My energy today is like so happy. And there's nothing particular. I just feel physically happy. You know, it's like brimming inside and out. That's why I want to help people, because there's such beautiful people that I know. We all need the detoxes and the cleanses and the revamping. And I don't want it to suffer, but sometimes I know people are a little bit delicate on how to approach them. But so I have some organic parsley. It changes the flavor a little bit. That's why I like to add the lime. Then I have my dulse, and also I try not to put too much because I don't want it to dominate. But if it does, if the parsley, barley juice, grass, or dulse dominate a bit, I put more lime and it gets the tang up. And then I've been putting honey, raw honey on the top, because Anthony says we can eat honey, the medical medium, and it's really nice. I wasn't sure about honey, but this guy's a genius, so I'm doing the honey. Now let's get a little teaspoon for the barley grass powder. I do have the spirulina from Vimergy, however, it has a pretty strong taste, so I'm not consuming it at the moment. Maybe I will in the future. I'm fine with buying it, but I'm gonna put 3 teaspoons. He says like 2 teaspoons, but I put 3. I don't really measure like too much, but you know that I juiced 2 oranges. I mentioned the amount of limes. I forgot how much I said. And 1 lemon. I'm gonna say like at least 6 limes. I have more limes if I need. So that, and then I'm gonna blend it, and then I'm gonna add the blueberries, or I could add the blueberries now. So that's a good amount of liquid that'll get it started. Oh, it's so wonderful to feel healthy and happy. You see, if we're not healthy, we're not gonna feel happy. We can have moments of happiness, but we really have to like work on it and kind of convince ourselves that when we're healthy, amazing. I mean, yes, other stresses can come in between that, of course. But just to feel good, just to have that buzz, you know? Wonderful. Let me put this up a little bit. I don't know. Do you need to see the blender? You're going to hear the blender. Let me put it on. So I have it. So there you go. That was nice with all the liquid. And I'm gonna add the blueberries, the wild blueberries. The wild blueberries. Yeah, there's some people that like, I'm not ready, I can't do it, whatever, but it's like, we're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to detox. We don't have a choice. We're gonna be up against the wall, not be able to function. Like seriously, I couldn't function with my bladder. Every night it would be like tight, then I'd have to go to the cupboard, and then I'd have to get herbs. I can't function like that. God forbid I ever was taken out of my home for an accident or anything, and I don't have my herbs, and then I develop an emergency UTI, and then what happens if I'm like so like in such a big accident I can't talk? Then my husband would have to be my advocate. I mean, I don't want to be dependent on anything. I don't want to be put in that emergency situation, because I was like band-aiding it, and like anytime something could happen, put me in total crisis. You can die from those UTIs. I want to be free. I want to be free in my health. So I'm going to put these blueberries in, like I just dump them in. I would say like 2 cups, 2.5 cups. I mean, who knows? At this point, maybe it's 3 cups. It's a lot of blueberries. I don't like measure. But what I do is I blend it and then I taste it. And then what I do add in is the limes. Yesterday I added in pineapple juice. I put it in my blender because I didn't want it to be like the thick fibers of the pineapple. And yeah, pretty much any fruit, I would say. And bananas he does add, but I'm kind of over that banana. Okay, so that's stopping a little bit. I'm gonna get my little plunger thing here, but I don't use it when it's on, because one time I did, and I ended up with a chewed up plunger and plastic in my blender. You know, you can use a food processor too. You could use a Cuisinart. It doesn't have to be a Vitamix. My lovely husband, when we were dating, he got this for me. He's very sweet. But I was using my Cuisinart food processor. Actually, I got it from Goodwill for $13, and it was fine. Blenders can sometimes burn out, but that's... So, let me taste it. It's nice and tangy. You can taste the parsley. And like, I would like to let it just kind of thaw a little bit. So let me do that and put it in one of my glasses. And then if I need to make more for my husband, I can make more, because yesterday he ended up having some, but I had to make 2 batches because it was so good. So it's really thick. I like it when it gets a little bit more melted. Oh, and another thing I bought was Medical Medium talks about how zinc is really good for the bladder. Well, someone had mentioned to take zinc one time when I had C. I threw up on an empty stomach because the C took away my appetite, the virus C. I must have thrown up like 6-7 times, so I cannot take zinc pills. But I got this Mary Roos, I like her brand. This huge bottle of zinc was only $10. It's organic, unflavored, organic, I can't read that, but anyways, I got that, and I will have it with food. I'll see how I do tomorrow with it, because, you know, it said that we're low in zinc. A lot of us are low in zinc, and that really helps the bladder. So I should be okay with that. I don't think it would produce any nausea. Well, if I eat some mango, I could have it. But I'm not in a rush. Let me see. What else? So yeah, I feel great. I don't feel anxious. Wonderful. Even though I have things that are sort of anxiety producing that I'm dealing with. And And the thing about the teeth is amazing. I would have never thought, like, sure, celery juice helps your teeth, or you could remineralize your teeth, whatever, No, it really did. God willing, the little black around my gum line goes away. I'm still traumatized by the dentist that, like, I avoid. I didn't ever used to really have to go to the dentist. I never had cavities. And that teeth erosion, the enamel erosion, was from the apple cider vinegar. And before that, I had just one tooth from drinking so much orange juice. That was it. And then I went to this really unscrupulous dentist, and I didn't go to one for 7 years. I didn't have any issues. Like, there was no dire reason to go, but I needed to go because one of the bonding fell off. And I did have one cavity, my first. Beautiful, compassionate dentist, but I'm so traumatized, and if I could do it all over again, I would have never touched the apple cider drink ever. Such a regret. And I wouldn't have to go, I don't use fluoride. 100% makes sense. You're eating your inner ecology. This mango is orangey, like the last one yesterday. Is so good. I didn't think it would be orangey. I went to the store to buy them again. Oh no, this is the one I had in my fridge, but I think it's the same batch. If I were eating greasy, salty, heavy foods, I would not enjoy this mango. My taste buds would be perverted. But that's like eating nectar from heaven. And that's what God made for us. God made us all these natural, beautiful things. And today in class we were talking about appreciating God's gifts. Wow. It's the fruits and vegetables he makes, and the flowers, and the bees, and the butterflies, and the birds. All those beautiful things that the evil ego of corporations wants to destroy. And the people that want to destroy our population want to destroy. So this has like a little bit of liquid on the top. I like it when it kind of melts a bit. Let me taste it. That's nice. I could do with a little more lime and honey on the top. It's nice though. And that barley juice powder, it takes away your appetite. I don't know. Take away your appetite. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but like, you're not hungry when you have it because it has so much nutrition. So you don't want to be hungry, you don't want to feel like you're deprived when you're doing this. Let me get the honey and dribble like some on top. It's so nice to have it with a straw. Because now I'm in day 11, I'm kind of discovering the fun things, and dates. I had a few dates yesterday, organic dates. They could be regular or organic as far as I'm concerned. But actually, the grocery store is the same price for organic or regular. I don't know if one's bigger than the other, but they look the same size. So dribble like a little honey. This is raw honey and local. Get local. Like, you don't want honey from different countries, and because that could be a questionable industry. Where do they get the honey actually from, and why is it from like Brazil, Argentina, and Africa or Asia? You kind of want local, or at least North America, I would think. So this makes a nice contrast between the tart lemon, the tart blueberries, and the sweet honey. And I wasn't sure about honey before, you know. But I'm a believer in medical medium. He's so against eggs for the bacteria. Not chicken, but eggs. And actually, I thought about it. And I remember I was raw vegan for a long time. And when, you know, people are talking about, oh my gosh, the protein, the protein. So I cooked eggs. This was back when I was like a bit after college. I cooked eggs and I got so sick I fell over. I guess there was some bacteria. And I went to the hospital. It was in Canada, so there wasn't a fee. And they couldn't find anything, like you're fine, right? But I remember that. I mean, I've had eggs, of course, before. The last time I had them was from these two boys. They were so cute. They were selling them from their chickens as I was driving home, and they were holding the chicken. I'd never seen someone hold a chicken like that, like a pet. And they were delicious, and I didn't get sick, but I don't really eat eggs at all. So definitely if he says they're not good, I wouldn't have them even occasionally. This is so good. And my husband, he seems happy mood from the celery juice too. So I want to give him the blueberry smoothie too. The wild blueberry smoothie to take with him. So he has that before lunch. It's something fun for him, you know, and like I said, his appetite will decrease, so he'll be healthier for his lunch once he has his lunch. Because, you know, when we're really hungry, we can't really make good decisions on what we want. We just want. So I could make like, in this little container here, put the cap on it, put some for him, and he could put it in his lunch for tomorrow. So I have a lot of potatoes, and with my detox, I am not gonna have potatoes, but I was thinking of making like maybe a potato salad. It's so funny because some people are so like, no starch, no starch. I got over that when I was looking into forks over knives, and I hadn't had starch forever and ever. I used to have dreams sometimes of eating starch, and then I just said, heck it, I want some potatoes. And guess what? I lost weight. I didn't gain weight. I don't know, maybe go outside. Going outside is so nice, but there is the issue with this community. Pesticides, they're not like educated, but luckily my dog wants to go out. Maybe I won't, but luckily the HOA, the guy in charge, I wouldn't say he's in charge though, but he's like one of the managers. He told us we could opt out of getting pesticide sprayed. So that was amazing because I was so ready for him to be like really ignorant and difficult and say, well, you know, you chose to live here. If you want to move, that's how we make the yards beautiful. But he didn't. Oh, I bumped into the door. He was so good at communicating, and it was so wonderful. Just 1 second, the dog got out. Stony. He was so validating. He had such an art for like people and communicating, so we both told him how like grateful we were, but the problem's still not resolved because when they spray on your neighbors and they spray around, it's not good enough, you know. So I really want to educate, and I called another company who said they could take on this many houses, this account. I don't know if this current one has a contract. But the guy, the worm I call him, because he's so not nice and not educated, he said at a rate of one once a week they were applying the pesticides. People need to know, because it's like, yeah, it's invisible, but it's a poison. And this man doesn't even live in this county, so it's just money in his pocket at the expense of people's lives. That's when I don't care about what people think of me, because the mission is so much bigger. And I think when we care about what people think of us, our mission is taken away from us. And this is just like, it's beyond myself too. It's beyond just thinking about myself. Yeah, this is good. Like, it gets to a point where it's like, it's still a smoothie, but there's liquid around the edges. It's really good. And once you have these smoothies, you're not hungry at all. But I make sure to have my celery juice before my class. I had water. I was tired this morning, which is fine. I just sleep. I slept in till like 9. But I didn't have lemon in my water. He does recommend it, but I don't always feel like it. So day 11, and I'm enjoying the things, you know, like this smoothie. I really made it tasty. So I'm kind of at a point where I could do this forever, you know. Like, you get over the hump of it being so difficult, and your taste buds calm down, and you don't feel like bored. So, but at the beginning it can be challenging, you know. I'd love to do it for 28 days. Let's just see, you know. Once 14 days is going to be my other landmark, you know. Like, it went from 9 days to 14, and now possibly 28, maybe 60. I'm so delighted that the black on my gum line has really dissipated. It's still there, but it's dissipated so much that it makes me feel like it'll resolve itself. That is amazing. Like, why don't we have this knowledge? That makes me angry, that everything's just money at the expense of people's bad health and pain and misery. So evil. So evil. This is good. It just makes me happy to think that my husband is also ingesting these healthy things. He feels happier, I can tell, you know. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so we got enough celery for 6 days. And then we'll just, I should just keep ordering it from this man. In fact, oh, he does it on Monday, so I'll see where I am on Monday. Because his celery, like I said, they were bigger than the store. So I got much more juice. I think I got a cup more juice. Let me see if my dog wants to say hi to you. There you go. There's the doggy. Oh, I love him so much. I gave him a bath yesterday. He was a good boy. Because he got stinky. He must have rolled around in something in the yard. And I'd love to put a little essential oil on him, but I got a reaction. I mentioned it from the tea tree oil, so I'm not going to do that. I don't know what they use. Unregulated. Now I'm petting him as his hair is going to my smoothie. But we're going to end off here, so goodbye. Goodbye. To your good health. Thank you for watching.